A two-set advantage for Loyola at home as the serving contest begins between sets. The teams go back to the locker rooms between the second and third set. This could be a good thing for BYU. I'm Tim Calderwood with you on the Horizon League Network, along with a host of others, as you can see, making their way back and forth, parading in front of the sightlines of me, the most beautiful announcer on the Horizon League Network. Let's take a look at the first numbers in the contest, and they are good for Loyola. Shooting 62% in the contest, 26 kills, 37 attempts, and only 3 errors for the Ramblers, including 12 kills on 15 tries in set number 2. BYU improved to 42% in the second set, as you see, but they're still at just 27% overall, 21 kills and 9 errors on their 44 tries in the contest thus far. This might be the largest between set serving contest that I've ever seen. You can see the large contingency of fans that have gathered just below our stats screen there. Yes, all of those people are trying to get involved to win those 4 Loyola t-shirts on the floor. Some of the other numbers individually: Mike Bunting with 13 kills to lead Loyola, Eric DeLigi with 5, Rob Stoll with 6, but just 2 of those in the second set. Kevin Sagers and Alex Dupron, along with Fudi Tavana, stepping up in the second to become options behind Stoll. Again, BYU's second leading attacker on the year, Taylor Sander, has not played this evening. Defensively, Dinas Berzins with 3 digs to lead all players in the contest. That tells you, folks, that it's been pretty much one and done on both sides. The defense has done a very solid job at the net, however. As you can see, the total blocks listed. Fudi Tavana with a pair for BYU. It's the serving contest attempting to wrap up, and I don't know how you can wrap up as many people as there are down there. Stoll with 14 tries for BYU, Bunting 15, and Dupron with 10 in the matchup as the Ramblers hold a 2-0 advantage. Kali Akamoa, 19 assists. Hutz with 19 for Loyola as well. Sagers with 5 aces for BYU. Bunting and Smalzer with 2 each for Loyola. 25-20 in each of the first 2 sets at Alumni Gym tonight, in front of a great crowd and an exciting atmosphere on this Friday night. Loyola, a couple of years ago, knocked off the defending national champions Penn State when they were number 1 in the nation here at Alumni Gym. It's not an easy place to come play for an opponent, that's for sure. As I mentioned repeatedly, fans are everywhere. It is loud, tough to communicate. And during the second set, BYU was consistently serving with the student section in their ears immediately behind them. We have had 14 ties and 5 lead changes in the contest to this point, as the Ramblers look to close out BYU. The Cougars have 2 losses. They were at Stanford on back-to-back days, January 14th and 15th, losing in 5 sets and losing in 4 sets. They have never dropped a 3-set decision this year. They will, in fact, have to win 3 consecutive sets to be able to come up with a victory here on the road, and only once this year have they played in 5 sets. That was at Stanford, as we talked about on January 14th. Never have the Cougars, ranked number 2 in the ABCA poll, dropped the first 2 sets of a contest. The highest ranked opponent to face Loyola this year, Student section is dancing. Yes, you're busted. You've been seen on the Horizon League Network working it and avoiding the volleyballs as well, dancing to the sounds of the Band of Wolves playing Lady Gaga. The crowd is going gaga so far in this contest. Hey, tomorrow we've got a doubleheader of basketball for you here on the Horizon League Network. The Loyola men and women will both be hosting Green Bay. The women are at 12:30 tomorrow. And the next volleyball matchup here on the Horizon League Network will be April 1st when the Ramblers welcome Ohio State. That is another Friday night. It is a 7 o'clock tilt, and it should be a very good one as well. Ohio State, another nationally ranked foe, currently 6th in the nation. The Ramblers with 7 foes on the schedule who have been nationally ranked. And the crowd's making noise back and forth. Jim Casella examining the lineups. There's the schedule for the Ramblers this year, opening with 4 straight wins before dropping consecutive matches in Pennsylvania. And then, as we mentioned, the 4-set loss at home to Stanford last Saturday. Loyola opening on serve in the 3rd set, looking to sweep. Doing his best is Stowell into the crowd, and the Cougars cannot get it over. It's not the first time that BYU has become intimately familiar with the contingency tonight. As the Ramblers open the scoring here in the 3rd set. Serving attempt is wide from Steve Thompson. And we're all even at 1 aside. Kaliakamoa, first server of this 3rd set for BYU, opens with an ace. Kaliakamoa with his first ace of the match, the 7th overall for BYU. Their interim head coach, Rob Nielsen, attempting to rally the squad from down 2 sets on the road. Becker to his knees, leads it for Smalzer. Second tie of the set. Off the rafters. Jeff Robinson has stepped in as the libero for BYU here in this 3rd set of play. One of the changes made by the Cougars in the locker room. Kevin Sagers owning 5 of the 7 aces for the Cougars in the matchup. Nearly tacked on another. The Ramblers fail to get it over the net. BYU opens a 4-2 lead in the 3rd. And an ace for a fired up Sagers, pumping his fists. Just to give you another idea, folks, the Ramblers this year, only once have they lost when winning the first 2 sets. They won the first 2 sets at St. Francis before losing 3 straight tight ones in Pennsylvania. Again into the crowd is Stowell. Guided over by Souza. 6-2 and a timeout. It's been all BYU to start the 3rd as we break on the Horizon League Network.
A handshake. It's a simple gesture. It can greet an old friend or make a new one. It says, welcome, best of luck. I'm here if you need me. It has the power to make a new place, well, feel like home. You're always among friends at Loyola University Chicago, where extraordinary lives begin.
Shane Davis pacing the sideline with a look of wonder here in this third set. His club up 2-0, but trailing in the third. However, BYU with a serving error hands it back to the Ramblers. A negative hitting percentage for Loyola to begin this set. That after hitting 800 in the second. Mike Bunting on serve for Loyola following consecutive points off the top of the tape. Kaliakamoa handles, and Dupron snaps the spell. Octavio Souza with the serve. Hutz with a back set. Hutz with his third kill of the contest. Well, the attack from the set slot is only successful if you show it every now and then. And Hutz, the king of knowing when to use it, finessing it over his left shoulder as the Ramblers pull to within 7-5 before Fudi Tavana with a thunderous kill for the Cougars. 8-5 the edge. Dupron towards the back row. Guided over by Hutz. 8-6. I love the silence when Hutz steps up to serve. Tavana could not believe that did not get over. 8-7. Hutz again with an ace. Tying the score at 8 here in the third. Look of concern on the face of Rob Nielsen. After all the momentum for BYU to open the third, they held a 6-2 lead. Not any longer. They would like a side out here. Other ideas from Thompson at the net. On the right side, it's blocked. Thompson and a fired up Berzins. 9-8 Loyola. Timeout BYU. Third set of action in Chicago on the Horizon League Network. The Ramblers with a 9-8 lead. I believe I just picked up a chant from the Loyola student section related to a BYU basketball player. Perhaps you've heard of Jimmer Fredette. I think they were just chanting, "You've been Jimmered," with Loyola leading 9-8. And adding to it, thanks to Berzins. Reference that negative hitting percentage for the Ramblers, it's up to 167. BYU with no hitting percentage here in the third set. A 10-8 advantage. Hutz spins it forward. Dupron drops it home. 10-9. Dupron with an ace for BYU. And the match is even at 10 here in the third. It is the fourth tie of the set. Dupron attacking Berzins, trying to take him out of the play. Bunting vaults in. Smalzer puts it down. It's time for Dynas Berzins. Charging ahead is Sagers, and he put too much into it. Berzins again. Stoll with a tip. Fudi Tavana with his serving honors for BYU. Looking to knot the score. He attacks Becker in the back row. Thompson swats it into the bench. 13-11 Loyola. Thompson into the back row. DePron is there, trying the right side. All leaping in is Stowell, and the Ramblers will not find a way to work it over. Now Loyola using some towels, mopping up the floor. Jim Casella, the down referee, inspecting as well. Kaliakamoa drowning out the chants in his ears. Daligi mishandled the set. He jumped a little too soon. And we are tied again. It's the 5th tie of the set. And the 19th tie in the match. Berzins drops it in. The linesman was on top of the play. As you look at the student section here at Alumni Gym tonight. Meanwhile, Rob Nielsen talking with Jim Casella, and Rob Stoll chatting with Justin Basovsky. Smalzer up the left side of the floor. Stoll guides it over. Hutz with a back set towards Smalzer. BYU's in the net. Smalzer deep, attacking Robinson. Stoll with a tip. Berzins did his best, but it was out of his reach. 15-14, Loyola with the advantage in the third. After winning the first 2 sets, 25-20, looking to sweep the number 2 team in the nation. Sagers serving for BYU. Berzins up the left side. Right along the line. It's time for Mike Bunting to serve. BYU starting deep. That's a miss hit from Octavio Souza. Timeout BYU. Time running out for the Cougars on the road in Chicago tonight. Loyola up 2 sets and 3 points in the third as we break on the Horizon League Network. Third set, Loyola at 429. It's their lowest percentage of the contest so far, but it's also the lowest for BYU at 118. And a long serve will restart play. 17-15. Ramblers looking to sweep BYU. They would up their mark to 6-3 overall and 6-1 here at home. And it would be a great way to start a 3-match home streak. Hutz with a back set towards DeLeghi. Only one player in the match with double-digit kills so far. That would be Mike Bunting for Loyola with 15. Robinson from the back row. Leading Stoll. It's ruled out. And the Ramblers now need 19-15. A short serve. Robinson, who's taken over at the libero position, is the target. And BYU records the side out. Rob Stoll looking to serve BYU back here in the third. Down 2 sets off the top of the net. Ramblers do a good job as Hutz will push it wide. They did their best job to work it out of position there. As the Cougars pull with a 19-17. Stoll into the net. Ramblers are 5 away from sweeping BYU tonight. Mike Hutz serving. Into the back row. And it's behind Dupron. He did not time his jump at all. 21-17. A change for BYU with Ryan Boyce taking the place of Kali Akamoa. 21-17 in the third. Hutz deep into the back row. Off the rafters, ping-ponging around and falling down. An ace for the Ramblers who lead 22-17. BYU is out of timeouts. Hutz fires into the net. (22-18). Dupron serving up the right side of the floor. Thompson swats. Knocked back at him. That's blocked again by Smalzer with the attempt for the Ramblers. Tavana, among others, leading the charge. 22-19. The BYU fans start to come to life. Timeout Loyola. Third set of action tonight in Chicago on the Horizon League Network. Back from Alumni Gym on the campus of Loyola University Chicago in Chicago. Tim Calderwood on the Horizon League Network. Men's volleyball action. Loyola looking for a huge win at home. BYU doing their best to avoid it. A thunderous kill from Futi Tavana in the middle. 22-20. Alex Dupron targeting the back row. Thompson's attempt to his knees, dive Stoll. Becker in the back row. Hutz Leading Bunting towards the net. Was it tipped? No. Mike Hutz with 25 assists in the matchup. He has the 4th most assists in Loyola history. But he could not rack up another one there. BYU looking to tie the score. Dupron off the rafters, drifting around. Smalzer knocks ahead. Leading to the left side. Long. Kevin Sagers off the blockers, and he turns to his left, firing up the BYU crowd. Tied at 22 in the 3rd set. Dupron serving. And Bunting from the back row. It's 23-22. A point for Loyola. Wait, is it? The linesman will confer. BYU thinks this might go their way. It stands 24-22, but a linesman on my side saw something different, and he walks over to the chair to talk with Justin Basofsky. Point BYU. And instead of being a 24-22 Loyola lead, we're again tied at 23. It's the 7th tie of the set. They're all on their feet at Alumni Gym tonight. Tavana tosses ahead. He aims at Bunting, who steps up and attacks. Mike Bunting adds another to his total. 17 kills tonight. And it is a match point for Loyola. Steve Thompson will try to finish it. Short, no one will get there. Kevin Sagers ties it for the 8th time in the 3rd set. And now both crowds are into it. Bunting chucks up another. Match point number 2 at Alumni Gym for the Ramblers, looking to sweep number 2 BYU. And it's going to take a 3rd match point for the Ramblers, who may have to fend off a set point for BYU, pending the outcome of Sagers' serve. Ace. For the first time today, BYU with a set point. Rob Nielsen pounding his hands together, the interim head coach with a smile on his face that he has yet to show tonight. They attack Becker. Bunting steps up, it's blocked. BYU fights off 2 match points to force a 4th set tonight in Chicago. And we'll have it for you in moments. This is the Horizon League Network.
Before she got her slap shot back. Before practicing with her team again. Before completing 6 months of rehab. Before we repaired her torn rotator cuff arthroscopically, we listened.
I just want to get back on the ice.
Loyola's orthopedists are national leaders in shoulder and elbow surgery. Loyola Medicine. We also treat the human spirit.